bytes, deficiency of bandwidth, insufficient to explain why it's us he works his plan with. See, he sits high above the word holy. He rests his feet on perfection, yet he shows mercy to sinful men through his sovereign election. So I pray thee, order my steps that I might follow. Empty this flesh of its confidence hollow, that I would not be lukewarm and spat out but swallowed into the bosom of the King. Hide me behind the rib cage of your glory, beneath your impenetrable covering. For I am a wretched man, dead apart from you, flanked by lust and sin, but desperate for your truth, gracious Lord. Without you, I have no hope left. So my God, light the way. My guide, order my steps. I just like to get that out of the way, just to keep my mind focused on God. Man. It's like these words that I have to give to you all tonight have nothing to do with me at all. You got to understand the Spirit of God has given me some things that He wants me to share with you all. And so just pray for me that I would deal with, that I would deliver them in humility and with God's grace. So this first poem is called My Black History. So I don't know how many of y'all celebrated Black History Month. I know growing up I did like all the time. That's all they taught us about in February. But I'm a Christian, so my Black history is a little bit different. I don't know how many of you know this. So this may come as a surprise to some of you, but I was born black. No. Yes, the melanin in my skin overpowered the pure white glow I seemingly had as an infant. And I was born into a society bent on reminding me that my skin was the same pigment as soil. The same soil that clung to the soles of the feet of slaves trying to flee the hot South. The same soil that was buried in a young protester's face and mouth after he silently sat in but was told to get out. The same color as dirt. The same color as hurt. The same color as burnt. The same color that turned into a joke. The same color that turned around and spoke of justice, of equality, of freedom, of peace, of revival, of restoration, and lastly, release. Yes, I am black, and I come from proud heritage. But that is not why I say I was born black. You see, long before civil rights, long before slave ships and slave trades, long before stolen land that we were all taught was free, there lived our forefathers. And there stood a tree with a past that makes us all blacker than a plumber's cuticles. A tree that made us all a black that isn't so beautiful. Because you see, our forefather Adam had him a wife who had been enticed by the baddest advice that soon had them both sliced from the happiest life. So if you fast forward thousands of years past the wars and devastation of God's sinful creation, you will find me on December 25th, 1991, just after 10:30 a.m., born, a black man. And not black in my skin, black in my sin. You see, I'm not only black because my father is black. I'm also black because my father's forefather was black, and I know Adam may not have been black in his skin, but it's because of him that we're all born black from within. See? Black history is something we can all take part in. Whether that history is of black skin or black sin, whatever history you found yourself black in, if you are free, celebrate your freedom from back then. And whether or not your bondage was spiritual or mental, don't go back in or be enticed by the nostalgic allure of back when. Because if we could rewind 2,000 years to the brightest yet darkest of days, we would realize that all of our black sin pays. And it pays very well. And when Christ's head fell and he, not we, took the keys of death and hell, you could not tell me that he failed when we did the crimes, but he posted bail when we wasted time, and he ripped the veil, put his life on the line, and then rose to tell. He died for and cried for males and females, lied there and died, spread wide by 3 nails. In a way that looked much more like flying than dying, our real life Superman proved good always prevails. And with his blood seeping deep into the mud of that hill, I ask myself, now, how does it feel to bask in my blackness and I've been brought to the light? So I will no longer celebrate those 28 and sometimes 29 days in February, because you see, I am no longer black. I'm white as snow. And no, please don't take this as disrespect to the race, but this skin I'm in doesn't matter where I'm trying to go. Where I'm going, it's all about pearl, white, and gold. And I pray that when I get there, this skin is wrinkled and old, because the skin I'm in is not equipped to behold the glorious greatness of the Almighty's throne.
Come on now.
Because I was born into a society bent on reminding me that my skin was the same pigment as soil. The same soil that clung to the soles of the feet of slaves trying to flee the hot South. And so I was born into a society bent on reminding me that my skin was the same pigment as soil. The same soil that clung to the soles of the feet of slaves trying to flee the hot South. No, better yet, I was born into a society bent on reminding me that my skin was the same pigment as sin. The same sin that clings to the souls of slaves trying to flee the hot South. So in light of the occasion, I say to you, black people, don't call me a sellout because I don't celebrate my race. No. Call me sold out because I've been regenerated by grace. And instead of exploring my black skin and its mystery, I choose to serve Christ. Who made my black sin black history. And I suggest you do the same. Alright. So I became a Christian, and then God started teaching me about manhood. And that's not really that fun. So he showed me examples of what kind of man I need to be, and that'll come a little bit later. But right now, let's focus on the kind of man that God told me I don't need to be. This poem is called That Man.
You better say it.
Go ahead now.
I cannot be that man. That's arms full of tats, using women like doormats, man. That man. That refused to take off my hat, man. Not a captain, but a passenger in the marriage. Not the wheels, but the cart on the carriage. Married by some lonely shell of a woman who can no longer love or live. No kisses or hugs to give, because she's only a corpse of what she was and a prototype of what he is. So no, I cannot be that man. Because I've seen too many mothers martyred for love. I've looked into a fatherless child's eyes only to realize that the most amazing things can come from the most terrible lies. So many questions arise, so I ask, who's going to teach him to tie his first tie, or help him buy his first ride? And who's going to discipline him for trying to hide his first lie or sneak his girlfriend inside? And who's going to help her choose the right car? Or let her know that dress goes just a little too far.
Right.
Who's going to show her what real? You!
Yes.
Because you should be there. You see, you can forget your wallet. You can lose your keys. You can accidentally call them the wrong names and things will still be the same. They get over on it. See, they still love you even if you always showed up late with unkempt hair. But no, you were never even there. You missed the nights when all she wanted was a hug from her dad, longing for the embrace that only her father had. So now she snuggles into dangerous arms like a bullet into the chamber of a rifle. See, the boys always told her she was killing them, exposing her cavities with candy-coated words, and now she can't stop feeling. And they're feeling her too. Because with the right combination of words, her body becomes a taxi, and she'll take them anywhere they want to go. No fear. And all the boys know. But you wouldn't know that. And you wouldn't see that your son has become as strong as Samson, and with just as much lust. He's lost trust in women, and men don't even exist. See, for him, the lines are blurred. See, there's something he missed. He never saw you kiss his mother. He never saw her in your arms, and he was never able to say, I want that one day. No. All he ever saw was his sister with the boys, and when he was young, there was that Mr. with the toys who always had time to play because his father never did. And now your son is gay, and he really likes kids. And you're to blame. Because there was never a scripture taught in the home. Christ was never officially introduced there, so they think of him as they think of you, the mythical man who left us too soon. Their mother has a brother who knows little sister too well. He makes her hold secrets like grenades and promise she won't tell. He explodes into her room like a drunken newborn star, and her eyes roll back like the spinners on his car, just like his. And he whispers her name in the darkness because she's forgotten who she is. Her childhood was cut short, see. Just like the veins in her wrist, seeking out a main artery, but just like her father, she's missed. And once again, she reminds herself that she can't do anything. Meanwhile, her mother sleeps downstairs, beside a poor replica of you. You see, she doesn't remember your love. And she doesn't recall your kiss. All she knows is that there was something about you to miss. See, maybe it was your arms or your chest or even your smell. So she carefully chooses clones who would seem to do just this way. Anyone with biceps, a torso, and cologne, the mother of your children, is willing to bring home. But tonight she lies depressed and crying herself to sleep. Wrapped in a cocoon, she gave your name what most people call sheets. Dreaming about what this family could have been. See, these are all horrific illustrations, I know. But think of them before you hop in and out of another bed, and before you make another late night phone call, give her a wedding ring instead. And then teach your children the gospel. And when necessary, use words. Because whether you like it or not, your life will be the loudest sermon they've ever heard. So love your kids, but despise their sin, and play with your boys, but raise godly men. Love your wife, but flee from idolatry, and serve God above and in spite of all things. And when all is said and done, your son will one day say, I want to be that man. And because you taught him, he can.